See, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the premature climax. That's what I know now. It's like wonderful. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we were listening to choir music, so to speak. And suddenly it can get to you. Suddenly you can be touched by it in a way that you didn't expect, like a total surprise, but very beautiful. And so allow that to happen and go for it and go deeply into it and let yourself be completely taken by it. Wonderful. How great is that? All right, so today we start with the morning miracle. And the morning miracle today is about psychic abilities. Are psychic powers desirable, as it says in the manual for teachers? Well, we're going to see if that's valuable or if that's useful or not. And what are they anyway? What is a psychic ability? So that is something that's coming up. But first, we go to the place. We didn't really move from it, but here it is. It's like there's a place in you where you can actually feel the gratitude, where you can actually feel your love for God, the gratitude that you feel for simply being in God in its totality. So the invitation is to listen to the prayer that Jesus is praying himself, and he's inviting you to be part of it, to completely include yourself in it, as if you are the one who is actually expressing the prayer, which of course is the case. So, yeah, I breathe in him. It's like I breathe in him. That is the title of it, but it's the last two paragraphs from lesson of today, lesson 197. Live and breathe in him. To everyone who lives, Christ will yet come. For everyone must live and breathe in him. His being in his Father is secure. Their will is one. Their gratitude to all. They have created. Their gratitude to all they have created has no end. For gratitude remains a part of love. Thanks be to you, the Holy Son of God, for as you were created, you contain all things within yourself. You are still as God created you, nor can you dim the light of your perfection. In your heart, the heart of God is laid. He holds you dear, because you are himself. All gratitude belongs to you because of what you are. Give thanks as you receive it. Be you free of all ingratitude to anyone who makes yourself complete. From this self is no one left outside. Give thanks for all the countless channels that extend this self. All that you do is given unto him. All that you think can only be his thoughts. sharing with him the holy thoughts of God. Earn now the gratitude you have denied yourself when you forgot the function God has given you. But never think that he has ever ceased to offer thanks to you. All right, thank you. Thank you for being part of this meditation and becoming still. And so here we begin with the psychic abilities, and it's good to take a look at what are psychic abilities. But it's like you don't have to make a study of it in that sense. It is you discover that you have them. And the possibility here is to let them be used, because you have many abilities that you didn't know of until you awaken. Like in the awakening, suddenly you discover, oh, I had no idea I could do that, or that's open in me. Like channels are opening up in the way that you use your mind. Like first, as a human, you have your plan, you try to focus to attain a goal and do all that. But when that all suddenly bursts open, or gradually bursts open and open and open, you discover there's a whole different way of perceiving available, and there's a whole different way of sensing and knowing available. And yeah, so that's. And then, what are you going to do with it? No, this is a question, and it's like that. First, you will use it just for your purposes, for your own purposes. I remember this of when this opened up for me. It was like I was clairvoyant. I knew exactly where things were, for instance. So I could tell someone who was asking, like, where are my keys? I can't find it. I'd say, well, why don't you look there? And they would be there. And on and on and on. So I used it practically also for almost like fun. It was like it was 100% right. And to see that actually works. Now, so with remote sensing, feeling, knowing literally when things are occurring to a certain sense, I had it specifically with people that passed on. I knew when they would pass on. I could feel that. I was part of it. And it's like, of course, if minds communicate, then it is a whole different story. If you know that there's only one mind, and if you start to have experiences related to that, then everything is open. There's no accident, or there's not anything like that. So then to discover the Course in Miracles and seeing that the Manual for Teachers directs you, or Jesus is directing you, and say like, wait a minute, let's use these abilities specifically instructed, and when it is giving you to use them. And so it is like used right, because you don't want to entertain yourself with your psychic abilities, or you don't want to set up a business in doing that, or who knows what you're going to do with it, like to use it for your human purposes. But let's use it constructively. So this is what I listened to when I heard that for the first time, and in fact do that. Now these psychic abilities is also a discovery of mind in a deep sense of communication. So entering into light experiences and being in a realm of knowledge, or being in a realm of light and love, literally everything is very well arranged. There's no accident in any of it. There's a perfect order in that. And so that means that there's a complete reliance on that what is occurring, on how you are moved to whoever or how that is occurring. Like there's a plan behind appearances, as it says somewhere in the Course. There's a beautiful description of it. Now this is very individual. This is like you are going to be used in a different way than you can possibly think in your awakening. In the height of your light experiences or the connectedness that you are experiencing even then. Like that doesn't stop. No, it's sometimes in fact you don't have to do anything with that. You're completely guided and brought to the places where that is helpful, where that is exactly necessary. So this is another facet of self-expression in a bright new configuration, the new mind of you in your awakening. So that's really beautiful. And like the result of using that is of no interest, in fact, for you. But since you are in a sphere, I'm talking, I hope this makes sense to you too. It's like, because you are in a sphere of connectedness, of being in communication, everything is already like in perfect order. Everything is arranged into perfect order. Like everything is perfectly right. And that takes away the concern of an outcome. That takes away the concern of if it's working or not, doubt about the functionality and the efficiency of it. Now, I understand that we're going really deeply, right away, really deeply into the psychic abilities. The idea of psychics makes it sound like a different thing if you associate with it in human terms. But if you can leave that, then it makes perfect sense. So that's what I ask you. that's what I ask you to do. To not associate it with your human ideas about psychic abilities, because it doesn't. Yeah, it's different. Okay, so I mentioned a couple, like remote sensing, clairvoyance. Yeah, there's more clear, like clairvoyance, seeing and hearing, and sensing. It's like knowing where you have to put your hand in order to heal, for instance, or who knows what. So there's a development of, you could call it intuition, but I want to stay out of that, because it's more like, now you're completely being guided here. You have nothing to say about anything, in the sense of, you don't have to be concerned with how you're being used, but since you recognize the source that is instructing you, you have no concern about that. So I really went for it in the sheet too. It's like beautiful. Wow, what the colors, amazing. Yeah. Okay, so here's an overview of the psychic abilities before we see how to use them. Clairvoyance, like I was saying, clear seeing, clear hearing, the ability to hear sounds, voices, or messages that are inaudible to others. So this is all happening in your mind, with other words. It is your inner voice. Yes, the inner voice is speaking to you. You can be in tune with that. You can listen to that. Isn't that just what we learn with the Course in Miracles? Yes, it is. It's like, listen to the still small voice. And Joel says it too. Listening to the still small voice. Clear audience. So that's a beautiful term, but in fact it is inherent in coming in communication with spirit. So there's, clear sentience, clear feeling, the ability to sense emotions, energies of physical sensations from others from a particular place. This is often described as having a gut feeling or intuitively knowing. That's fine, however you call it. So, of course, you are being guided. If this is opened up in you, you are guided to do all that, or to let it all come to you. And in your openness, not having any ideas about it, it functions really well. So clear cognizance, clear knowing, the ability to receive sudden intuitive knowledge or insights without any logical explanation. A person with this ability might just know the truth about a situation. Now, see, this is also part of that. Like, if you see the aspects of mind, so if you recognize your mind to be whole, what isn't there that you don't know? Like recognizing there's nobody outside of you. In fact, everything is available. It is just that you have to open your sense for receiving that information for yourself. For instance, by knowing that it's possible and training yourself to be aware of it, that it is that way, that it can come to you by you being open, that anything can come to you, whether that's sense, whether that's voyance, like whether it's seeing, whether it's sensing, whether it's knowing, and all this is included in your whole mind. Because what is this all about? This is all about you awakening in your recognition of your whole mind, recognizing that your brother is a whole part of that, that there's no, in fact, no border, there's no separation in that at all. So why wouldn't you be able to sense all of it? Of course you sense it. See, as a human being, you have set up yourself as a separate entity, boxed in by your own limitations, accepting that, making that real for yourself. And now this is falling away. Now, is there really a difference? Is there a separation between you and your brother? No, there is not. So, like in terms of mind, we're all communicating as one. Now, we're going to use that to remember, yes, we are one. To remember, I'm whole and perfect. Like nothing is in the way to let that occur. Only, by you being open and receptive to recognize there's no separation. There's no different entities. There's not somebody out there or somewhere else. No, there's only one thing going on, and that's you in the totality of yourself. That's where it comes down to. I am that I am. Is that different for you? No, of course not. I am that I am. And that's happening right here, right now. There's no other place where that happens. So it's like it is located right here. Remote sensing becomes a funny term in terms of distance, because there is no distance. Is there a possibility of distant healing? Oh, absolutely, because there's no distant. There's no distance. And does it go right through 5 meters of concrete wall? Oh yeah, no problem. Because 5 meters of concrete wall have no meaning whatsoever. In the realm of knowing, there's no 5 meter thick concrete wall. So it works from the bunker from the bunker to the center of the earth, far into the universe, like anywhere, of course. So this is really wonderful. So for one thing, this stretches up your idea of limitation. Like there's no limitation. This opens up for you the possibility of recognizing there's only one mind, and that we share with God. God is instructing us. The heart of God is laid in your heart, and we just heard that. What a lovely idea. Now, what is that God not giving me? Whether that is guidance, whether that is information, whether that is healing, whether that is... No, it's all included. It's total, it's everywhere. Precognition, the ability to perceive or gain knowledge about future events before they happen, often thought through dreams, visions, or a strong sense of foreboding. Now that is really fun too, if you recognize that there's only one moment, right? It's like if the moment is right here, right now, you know everything that's going to happen. Like every prophecy will be self-fulfilling, just because you are using the power of your mind to actually let it happen. Where does that come from? From anywhere else? No. So retrocognition is the ability to supernaturally perceive past events. Now that sounds really great too. Mediumship, the ability to communicate with spirits, ghosts and deceased loved ones. Now this is interesting too, because deceased loved ones, where do they go? Where are they? Are they somewhere else? Are they separate from the whole mind that you are? No. No. It's all inclusive. Like this whole universe communicates as one. There's no time, there's no space, there's no other place. No? So telepathy, the ability to transmit, receive thoughts and feelings directly from one other mind to another. Well, here you have one. Here, did you get it? It's really great. We telepathy all the time because there is no separation. Without the use of speech or other senses. No, it works immediately. Minds communicate, and that's instantaneous. It doesn't even take time. It is not from someone else. And there's no other mind. See how interesting that is if you see a human upsumming of psychic events. Psychometry, the ability to obtain information about a person or an object by touching it and sensing its history or connection to others. That sounds really magical. That's really wonderful. So remote viewing, the ability to see a distant or unseen target through extrasensory perception. Yeah. And here are some physical abilities related to the influence on the physical world. Psychokinesis or telekinesis, the ability to influence a physical system or move objects with the power of the mind without physical interaction. Levitation, well, meditators. Levitation, the ability to float or rise into the air without physical support. And pyrokinesis, the ability to create or control fire with the mind. Harry Potter. So great, wonderful. Is that all possible? Of course it is possible, but why would you use it? Like why would you use it unless it is instructed? Otherwise it is like you want to show effects and how great you are with your psychic abilities. For what? To say blow up your ego? No, there's no need for that. So if any of those and more, any of those are being asked of you, you will be able to do them because everything is within your, say, within the realm of your possibilities. There's nothing excluded from you, for you that you shouldn't be able to do. Like whatever is asked of you is what Jesus says too in the Course, like whatever is asked of you, you are able to do. And that has nothing to do with your idea. If you think it's possible or not, you just wait and follow the instructions and let it happen in the moment that it happens. And in that, there's a beautiful communication possible. That's where this is about. That's where the abilities are being used. That perfect communication of not walking ahead of yourself, not walking ahead of anyone, not doing the things for your own purposes. No, just waiting for the instruction and the inspiration to, in fact, for the instruction and inspiration to let it happen, to let it be done through you. So in fact your part in it doesn't matter. So is the result. It doesn't matter. It's not of your business in that sense. You're just being used. Now that looks maybe as if you are left outside of something, but like I said, to consciously use these abilities in perfect light, in an experience of light and love, it makes it that you see how perfect the plan is anyway. And now you appear to be doing something, well, great. That's also wonderful. Huh? Maybe you do nothing. That's also wonderful. So that takes away any kind of idea that you have to do something for it or study it or practice it, or no, that comes with you entering into your whole-mindedness by being willing to do that, by being open to come to that, by allowing yourself to be guided and instructed. That's so lovely. So in that sense, it is an important chapter in the Manual for Teachers, because this is not just, I would say, not just the forgiveness part that we emphasize so much in the Course in Miracles. No, this is actually entering into light and see what is given and what is extended to one another. It's like, what kind of communication is taking place within my light experience, as a newborn light worker, as someone who has discovered the light of your being, like you discover the light of your being and becoming familiar with that realm. So the great thing is with the sheets too, is like there's only one way to do it, and that's like to do it right. So that's why I always go for it. Like so much support is there, but I feel it when it's ready, when it's good, when I'm prepared, so to speak. That's so beautiful. So here we have, are psychic powers desirable? Jesus says the answer to this question is much like the preceding one. There are, of course, no unnatural powers, and it is obviously merely an appeal to magic to make up a power that does not exist. It is equally obvious, however, that each individual has many abilities of which he is unaware. This is good to know. It's like, oh yeah, wait a minute, there might be a lot more possible than I'm suggesting to myself. Now for that it is good to hear this. As this awareness increases, like I said, like if you start to open your mind truly and leave your thoughts for what they are, but really entering into light and love in your experience, he may well develop abilities that seem quite startling to him. Yet nothing that he can do can compare, even in the slightest, with the glorious surprise of remembering who he is. Now there's an interesting sentence, of course. As his awareness increases, he may well develop abilities that seem quite startling to him. Yet nothing that he can do can compare, even in the slightest, with the glorious surprise of remembering who he is. Let all his learning and all his effort be directed toward this one great final surprise. And he will not be content to be delayed by little ones that may come to him on the way. Little surprises. Like, no, you want a great final surprise. Certainly, there are many psychic powers that are clearly in line with this course. It's like I mentioned this, like seeing that your mind communicates as one. In fact, everything brings everything within your reach, everything that you need to know. And the course is like the pieces, its goal. But say the step next to that is in fact becoming a revelation ready and entering into the sphere of knowledge. And so communication is not limited to the small range of channels the world recognizes. If it were there, there would be little point in trying to teach salvation. It would be impossible to do so. Okay. So communication is not limited to the small range of channels the world recognizes. If it were, there would be a little point in trying to teach salvation. Yeah, if it has to happen within the range of channels of the world, forget it. It doesn't make any sense to even teach salvation. The limits the world places on communication is the chief barrier to direct experience of the Holy Spirit, whose presence is always there and whose voice is available but for the hearing. These limits are placed out of fear, for without them the walls that surround all the separate places of the world would fall at the sound of his voice. Now, this was what I was saying. It's like the separateness, the limitations that you impose on yourself are the only things that are in the way for your mind to be completely open. Who transcends these limits in any way is merely becoming more natural. He is doing nothing special, and there is no magic in his accomplishments. The seeming new abilities that may be gathered on the way can be very helpful. Yeah, new abilities. Given to the Holy Spirit and under his direction, they are very valuable teaching aids. To this, the question of how they arise is irrelevant. The only important consideration is how they are used. Nothing that is genuine is used to deceive. The Holy Spirit is incapable of deception, and he can use only genuine abilities. What is used for magic is useless to him, but what he uses cannot be used for magic. There is, however, a particular appeal in unusual abilities which can be curiously tempting. Here are strengths which the Holy Spirit wants and needs, yet the ego sees in these same strengths and opportunities to glorify himself. Those who have developed psychic powers have merely let some of the limitations they laid upon their minds be lifted. It can be but greater limitations they lay upon themselves if they utilize their increased freedom for further imprisonment. The Holy Spirit needs these gifts, and those who offer them to him, and him alone, go with Christ's gratitude upon their hearts, and his side not far behind. So this covers it with what I was sharing. It's like it covers it in the sense of, well, all these new abilities that can come to you, that open up when you open your mind to a new experience of yourself, like all the abilities that are given will be used for you, with the purpose of healing, with the purpose of uniting, in fact, of recognizing that you're one. Now, the fact that these abilities are opening up, the fact that you discover your whole mind, is really what this is for. It's like, it is not to use your psychic abilities. It is about recognizing who you truly are, waiting for that one big surprise of coming to know who you are. And so this is great. But see, you can see the temptation here can come to use these abilities that you discover, to use them for your own purposes, and see that does not make sense, or to use them for magic, to show off with them or something like that, to show what you can do, and that would only in fact confirm separation more than anything else. Like, I can do something that you cannot do, while this is within the teacher's manual, within the way of instructing and teaching. It is, if I can do it, you can do it certainly too. Like, there's no difference in that. It is just a matter of opening up your consciousness to this possibility. And so that's important as a teaching device, you could say. It is important because it doesn't make me special. If I can do that, it doesn't make me special, because I'm not really doing it. It is given to me, and I'm using it on say, the auspices of the Holy Spirit, of Jesus, of Christ, of the I Am. That's how it is being used, and in that it works perfectly. But in that, I'm also staying alert to any kind of instruction. So the focus should be on that, really. It's like, open your consciousness, open your mind. Listen really carefully. Be still, listen, be still, listen. Listen to this specific guidance that you receive. Not necessarily to help others or something. No, just to feel the instruction, to feel the guidance that is in your highest interest, flowing through you in whatever way, in whatever direction. Well, this is really lovely. So that's the instruction Jesus gives here in the manual for teachers.